Does air conditioning consume a lot of electricity? The truth about kilowatts and running costs. Section 1. A 9 kilowatt AC does not use 9 kilowatts of electricity. My company has installed over 300 air conditioning systems across London and Hertfordshire. And during last year's heat wave, we consulted 100 homeowners on whether air conditioning was right for them. One of the concerns we hear is how much electricity does air conditioning actually use? In this video, I'll explain what the numbers really mean, what air conditioning can cost to run, and what affects your electricity bill. The biggest misunderstanding is seeing a 9 kilowatt air conditioner and assuming it consumes 9 kilowatts of electricity. It doesn't. The 9 kilowatts normally refers to its cooling or heating capacity, not its electrical consumption. If a system draws 2 kilowatts of electricity for 1 hour, it has used 2 kilowatt hours, and that's the number that ultimately matters on your electricity bill. Section 2. How can 3 kilowatts of electricity produce 9 kilowatts of cooling? An air conditioner doesn't create cooling, it moves heat. In cooling mode, it takes heat from inside your house and transfers it outside. Electricity powers the compressor, fans, and controls that make this possible. That's why a system can potentially deliver around 9 kilowatts of cooling while consuming somewhere around 2.4 to 3 kilowatts of electricity at substantial load, depending on the system and conditions. And it won't necessarily consume that much all day. Section 3. Why inverter AC uses less once you're comfortable? Modern air conditioners use inverter technology, which allows the compressor to adjust its output. When you first switch the AC on in a very hot house, it may work hard to bring the temperature down. Once the room reaches the temperature you've selected, the system can reduce its output and simply maintain it. So 8 hours of air conditioning does not mean 8 hours at maximum power. That's one of the biggest reasons running costs can be lower than homeowners expect. Section 4. What could it actually cost? Let's use an electricity price of roughly 26 pence per kilowatt hour as an example. If your system averages 0.7 kilowatts over 8 hours, that's around £1.45. If it averages 1.2 kilowatts, that's around £2.50. And if a large system stays under heavy demand and averages 2.5 kilowatts, you're looking at roughly £5.20. These aren't guaranteed figures, but they show why there's no single answer to how much air conditioning costs to run. The system could be cooling 1 bedroom, or it could be cooling 5 rooms during a heat wave. Those are completely different loads. Section 5. What makes AC expensive to run? Your house can matter just as much as the air conditioner itself. Poor insulation, large windows, direct sunlight, open doors and windows, and very low temperature settings can all make the system work harder. Correct sizing is also extremely important. An undersized system may struggle to reach temperature, while simply installing the biggest unit possible isn't necessarily efficient either. I recommend having the actual cooling requirements of the rooms assessed rather than choosing an air conditioner purely from the number written on the box. Section 6. What about heating? Air conditioning can also work as an air-to-air heat pump. Under suitable conditions, 1 kilowatt of electricity might provide roughly 3 to 4 kilowatts of heat. That's very different from a standard electric heater, where roughly 2 kilowatts of electricity gives you around 2 kilowatts of heat. However, efficiency changes with outside temperature, insulation, and how much heating the property requires. So heating costs should always be considered separately from summer cooling costs. Section 7. How to keep your running costs down. For cooling, I generally recommend setting your air conditioner around 23 to 25 degrees rather than automatically selecting the lowest temperature. Keep windows and external doors closed, use blinds or curtains against strong sunlight, and only cool rooms that actually need it. Keep the filters clean and make sure the system is maintained properly. And don't constantly switch an inverter system on and off. Once the room reaches temperature, allowing the system to reduce its output and maintain that temperature can be much more sensible than repeatedly letting the house become extremely hot. Section 8, the bottom line. So does air conditioning consume a lot of electricity? It depends on your home and how you use it, but don't confuse the capacity written on the unit with its electrical consumption. A 9 kilowatt air conditioning system does not normally consume 9 kilowatts of electricity. It may deliver around 9 kilowatts of cooling while consuming roughly 2.4 to 3 kilowatts under substantial load, and considerably less once the rooms reach temperature. If you're considering air conditioning for your home, tap the link in the description now to arrange a high-quality air conditioning quote, and we'll help you choose a system that's properly sized, efficient, and suited to your property.